Struggling to optimize your PC's performance or manage system settings like a pro? What if you could master the Windows control panel and take full control of your computer's power options, virtual memory, and system protection in just minutes? In this video, I'll show you how to use advanced control panel tools to boost your PC's performance, secure your system, and customize power settings like an IT expert. Whether you're preparing for an IT certification or just want to optimize your computer, these tips will save you time and make you a Windows power user. Ready to unlock the full potential of your PC? Let's dive in. In this new course, we're going to continue with the different tools present in the control panel, and we start first with the File Explorer options. This menu can be launched directly from the control panel. Simply use the icon view mode and click on File Explorer options. The first tab, which is the General menu, gives the possibility to customize several general options. For example, you can choose to open a new folder in the same window, or in a different window. It is even possible to configure an option to launch a folder with a single click instead of the usual double click. The next tab, which is the View, allows you to control the display options related to files and folders. This is where it is possible to display hidden files and folders. You can also choose the possibility to hide or show file extensions. And the last tab of the File Explorer options is the Search menu that allows you to set up the way you launch file searches on your system. Now, let's move on to a completely different tool, which is the System tool. It also launches directly from the control panel. Once launched, you will have this window, which will show you the specifications of your computer, such as its name, information about your processor and RAM, the type of operating system installed on it, i.e. 32 or 64 bits, but also a lot of other information. You can also change the name of your machine by simply clicking on Rename this PC. If you change the name, you should know that the change will not be taken into account until after the restart. Scrolling down a bit, you'll come across more detailed Windows operating system specs, like its edition and his version. You also have access to the advanced system settings. If you click on it, you'll end up in the system properties, and more specifically, in the Advanced System Settings tab. This is where you can optimize your computer's performance, configure user profiles, but also some startup parameters, and modify environment variables. For this part, we're going to talk mainly about virtual memory. It can be changed by clicking on Settings in the Performance section. In the Advanced tab of the new window that appears, you can increase or decrease the value of this virtual memory. You are probably wondering, what is this virtual memory? And why change it? Well, virtual memory, which can also be called a swap file, is a block of space on your hard drive or SSD, which is reserved by the operating system to act as memory when physical RAM is no longer sufficient to run programs. As you can see, you will have a better performance result by using an SSD. Let's move on to the System Protection tab, which is used for everything related to System Restore. It is here that you have the possibility, in case of a problem, to restore your system to an earlier date when everything was fine. So you should know that in order to restore, well, you must first have created a restoration point, because otherwise you won't have to restore anything, and it will be too late. The tab next to it, which is the Remote use, provides access to a setup wizard for remote connections. That is, Remote Desktop. This is where you can activate remote control and set a maximum validity period on invitations. Now let's move on to Windows Defender Firewall. We have already talked about this security tool in a previous course. You can launch it from the control panel. Once launched, it is here that you will be able to activate or deactivate it for a specific profile. or even configure advanced filtering settings on incoming or outgoing traffic, depending on an IP address, a port number, a protocol, or even an application. Let's move on to the Power Options tool, also accessible from the control panel. It is here that you will be able to control everything related to power management, as well as the different actions of the power button or the closing of the lid. For example, if you click on Change Mode Settings for normal use, you can choose how long your screen will turn off or go to sleep. And you can even create a new way to manage your power supply.